Emily made me stay up until all hours of the night last night. Now, I'm not complaining necessarily, and certainly sleeping is not my favorite thing in the world. In fact, if given the option, I would never sleep. But I have to sleep, and if I get less than 8 hours, I'm pretty miserable. Which means I didn't wake up till pretty late today. Now, I guess late for me is pretty relative. I know late for some people is like waking up at noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've never been that way. I don't know why anyone would want to be that way, to basically just wake up and your day already be half gone. Late for me is 8:30, which sucks because there's so many things to do, and now it's just the whole day feels like I'm falling behind. Now, luckily, other than the obnoxious amount of Spanish work I have to do, today's not that busy. I don't really have a whole lot of meetings. Everything for the feature film's kind of going the way it should. I'm ahead, actually, on my podcast, so I'm in a good place, and so it's okay that I woke up late. I don't like that feeling of constantly being behind, so, here's to hoping I don't do this again. Now, obviously, that's a pretty foolish hope. I'm sure it's going to happen many, many more times, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, it's Emily's fault that we ever stay up late. If it was up to me, I'd go to bed like at 9 o'clock every night, because I'd much rather wake up early and have the whole day and go to bed early than stay up late. But if Emily sleeps in, and then we have to wake up later, and then it kind of creates this cycle of waking up later and later and going to bed later and later. I can't wait till she has a job. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love being around Emily all day and being able to hang out and just kind of go and do things whenever we want, but it can be hard sometimes to get work done when she's right there, and studying 8 hours a day is kind of ridiculous, so her amount of studying typically ends before my amount of work does, and what I really need is an office. Well, maybe not like my very first purchase. Obviously, I have to buy equipment and pay my employees and things like that, but once the business is functioning in a way that an actual business should, not just me and Andrew fumbling around, then we'll get an office. Probably. There is another problem, though, with getting an office, and it has to do with our house. You see, Emily and I have lived in this wonderful apartment for almost 3 years now, in the apartment complex for almost 4 years. It's the only place either of us have lived outside of home and a college dorm. It's a pretty big deal, and we have come to love it, but Emily hasn't really seen her parents all that much in the last 3 years, ever since they moved to Minnesota. She really misses them. Now, because she misses them and I love seeing the in-laws, our decision has been made that once Emily takes her test and all the things, we're probably going to move closer to them. The bigger problem is we don't know where that is. I mean, yes, they're in Minnesota right now, but things are constantly changing. Maybe 5 years from now they're not in Minnesota. Maybe they're somewhere else. And even if they are in Minnesota, we'd have to pack up everything and move. And so getting an office is complicated, because if we're not living here in Indiana, which I've talked about before, we probably won't be. Where do I put my office? Especially when all of my employees do live in here in Indiana. But it's also even more complicated because they also want to leave Indiana because they're still in college. So it's a problem. Now, of all the problems in my life, this is probably the most pointless to talk about, because there's so many things that have to happen before I could even consider getting an office. I mean, first of all, I can't even afford an office. So if I can't afford it, why am I talking about where I would put an office? I don't know where we're going to live. There are so many variables that I'd have to worry about before we would ever get into an office. So this is an entirely absurdly hypothetical situation. I probably won't even ever have an office, but I like the idea of it. Emily's making me take her to the pool, or rather, she's making me go to the pool, which is fine, I guess. I know I need to relax more, and if there's anyone who can help me relax, it's Emily. I mean, it's a little hypocritical because Emily herself can't relax, but I feel it is my duty to create a sort of example, although I guess she's already out there relaxing. I really should relax more, and I'm working on it. I really am. It's hard. I get so caught up, and I say, oh, I'm going to go to the pool today. I can work by the pool because there's internet there, and it's easy to work there, but for some reason, I just choose not to work at the pool because I get so caught up in my mind, especially lately because I've been trying to figure out how to color grade, which to me just doesn't make any sense at all. And I have to figure it out before, the feature film, which is coming up here shortly, which I'm not excited for at all. I mean, of course, I'm excited for the actual feature itself. That's exciting stuff. Who doesn't like making a feature? Well, I mean, I'm excited for it at least, but what I'm less excited for is the editing. I never really liked editing. It's just incredibly stressful to me, and I don't understand why anyone would like doing it. I know other people do like doing it, and I'm sure the people on my team would like to do it, but I can't pay them to do it. Also, I want to have a bit of control in my film, so I have to do it. And color grading is just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. But I've been sitting up here for the last hour trying to figure out how to color grade. It's not really working. If you're watching today's vlog, you'll realize that, well, color grading isn't very good. Barely any at all, because I still don't really understand it, and I'm trying to watch more things so I can, grasp whatever color grading is, but it's not going well. So I'm making Emily this drink, which uses this, it's like a liquid IV thing. She's been testing them out before we go out to the desert, because apparently, one of those packets that I just dumped into this water here is worth 4 bottles of water. I think it just tastes like salt and sugar, which isn't my favorite thing in the world, but she likes it. I better change first. All right, now I'm ready to go to the pool, I think. I wonder if she brought a towel down for me. I feel like she didn't. I don't really need a towel. I think I got everything. It should probably be fine. For the middle of the day on a Friday, the pool was actually pretty busy. Mostly it was what seems to be young moms who are perhaps stay-at-home moms, or they work from home. Not very clear what the situation was. But even then, there were people working at the pool, which is something I tried to do, but it didn't go so well. Emily ended up coming back only 20 minutes after we got down there. I stayed down for a little bit longer, but it got too hot. So now Emily's playing Stardew Valley while I get some work done until we end up going to my mom's, which should be a good time. I do like going to my mom's, don't get me wrong. It's kind of boring. And that, of course, is no one's fault. It's just how it is sometimes. But we are going to watch a movie, which should be a fun time. I just have to focus on working until we go. How was Stardew Valley?
Stardew.
Do you feel relaxed?
Yes.
It's the only thing that relaxes her.
It is. Then I was interrupted because St. Vincent keeps calling me to pay a bill, even though I already paid it, and every time I log on to my account balance is 0, so...
Come on, St. Vincent. It's almost like the American Medicare system. It doesn't work. All right, are we going to my mom's?
Is this a sunburn, or was it just from where?
Sunburn.
What?
Oh, I got a sunburn.
Just right there.
Anyways, we going to my mom's?
Yeah, yes.
What fun. We're at my parents' house, and they're not here. Even though they ask us to come over every Friday, we always come over at the same time.
Yeah.
But they're not here,
They
so.
need to go get Jimmy's shorts.
Jimmy had to get shorts for vacation? Or just...
I don't know. He only has 2 pairs of shorts. One pair
Why does
has
it
a
take the
hole
whole
in it.
family to get the shorts?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because he was going, and I was like, ooh, I'll come too.
And Sophia.
Got
Well, we're just gonna sit out here and wait.
him.
Nope. We're gonna sit out here and wait. for fun. But it's so hot outside that we didn't actually finish the movie. We're watching Raya and the Last Dragon, which it's pretty good. It's very action-packed, especially for like a Disney movie. I think it's a good time so far. I mean, we're only 40 minutes into it, but we're watching outside and like this projector, and it's just it's so hot that we couldn't do it. So we're gonna go home, rest, and maybe try again another day.